Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam. I'm with Jake, and we're back again for another great episode. And on tonight's episode, we're going to start off with something we rarely do, and that's a HomeGymCon update. After that, we have some new products from Rogue, Force USA, Exponent Edge, and U4C Fitness. We have some survey results talking about Smith machines. And then Jake did a wall upgrade in his home gym, and we want to let you guys know what's going on in our gym. So Jake's going to take us through his home gym upgrade. Jake?
All right. Thank you, Adam. And before we get going, this is Monday night at about 8:30 p.m. I actually just got off of I did a podcast with Sean from Bamfhammer. And he is going through some turbulent times within his company, pretty much trying to save it right now due to some manufacturing issues. And we're gonna post this episode that we're doing right now Tuesday afternoon. The Bamfhammer one's gonna go out tomorrow morning, so it'll already be posted. So if you're listening to this, I just wanted to say highly recommend checking out that podcast. One of the just best, most real, raw podcasts I've ever done. So, I don't want to spoil the story here, but go check it out, and if you can, support them. All right, let's move on to this podcast. We'll start off with a HomeGymCon update. So this is the first update for 2025. For anyone who's not aware, actually, it's already been a whole month. A whole month ago, we had year number 2 in French Lick. Year number 3, we decided to move to Louisville for a number of reasons. But that is going to be on the last weekend of June in 2025, downtown Louisville. So we started reaching out to vendors about 2 weeks ago, and we already have 63. So that's crazy, absolutely insane. Didn't necessarily know what to expect. Like, I think we thought we'd have a good amount of vendors who'd sign up right away, but 63 is just crazy. And we keep posting all these updates like, help, another vendor. I really don't want it to sound like we're just like, look at us, another vendor. It's just really cool, and it's happening so fast. So 63 in 2 weeks, and that is actually more. They're taking up more floor space than what was filled in 2024. So it's already bigger than last year, I guess you could say. A little less vendors, but more space. So what's next? So we have a number of things that we need to work on next. Again, we're over a year out, but we need a logo. We're planning on bringing back all of the competitions plus more, most likely going to have a powerlifting meet. And then also, someone reached out for like a kettlebell competition, the other day. So, that would be cool. And then, like, I'm sure a number of other things will pop up just with this thing growing. Then we're going to need to fill out the floor space, and then also create a premium ticket package. So there's been a number of people who've reached out, was like, I want to buy tickets, but I want to get the premium ticket. So this year's plan is for an additional kind of package that you'll purchase in addition to the regular ticket package.
It's
Adam,
insane,
any comments?
No. The comments are, I'm just sitting back enjoying the ride right now. I will share the story of last year's logo. Jake released it to me, and I have to say, I think I said this on a podcast before, not my favorite. Like, I hated that logo when I first saw it. And I told him, like, I don't know about this, that, and the other thing. And he's like, no, this is it. I was like, all right, whatever. And then as the months went on, I liked it more and more. And now when I look at it, I like it way more than our first year's logo. So he probably knows going forward, and whatever the creation is for year 3. I'm probably going to hate it in the beginning and then end up loving it. So
The logo process is super hard because you're just kind of starting from scratch, and it's like a huge decision. Like it's going to be the face of this event for a whole year. So I'm still kind of pushing it off. The leading color within the votes has been purple. So
big fan. Yeah,
purple, and you like that? You like the purple?
I do. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, you do. There's
Yeah.
also there's also Kentucky blue. So I kind of feel like it should be
Oh,
Kentucky blue.
yeah.
And then also
But you could do like
Louisville
the
has
Louisville
like
red.
the red.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be one of those 3 colors. I don't know. If anyone has thoughts, you guys let us know. All right. So yeah, we have quite a bit of vendors already, and then yeah, we'll be building this thing out. Hopefully we'll have all of these things kind of knocked out within, let's say, the next 60, 90 days. All right.
Nice.
Moving on, let's talk some new products. So the biggest release I'd say within the last few weeks or so has been the new Rogue rack attached functional trainers. So these were a handful, or a couple of these were on or were showcased at HomeGymCon. They primarily have 6 different options if I'm looking at it correctly. Times 2 because you can get them in either Monster or Monster Light. So they have the Rogue FM6 functional trainer with 6 posts, and then 1 stack. They have the Rogue FM6 Twin functional trainer. So that's again 6 posts with 2 stacks, and then also a lat pull down option. They have a couple of half rack options, the same, and then you can also get it added as an add-on with a couple different options there, and then also the Rogue Monster Rhino Rack Trainer drop-in.
Sick.
I'm actually going to, yeah, they're pretty cool. I'm gonna actually share my screen with here redo share screen. This one. So kind of want to just walk you through what some of the, like, what it looks like if you're checking out. Let's start with just the FM6 functional trainer add-on. So you can see that, there's a lot of people who have Rogue racks, and they're this is kind of like a really ideal option. So you can either choose from like a 90-inch or 100-inch rack. Choose the existing depth. So 30. Let's just go with a 90-inch rack, 30-inch depth. This is for like a 6 post, and then you can do a plate loaded 250-pound stack or 300-pound stack. So you can see the plate loaded, and then the 250-pound stack is actually only $400 more. And then you can also go with aluminum, and then you can also add shrouds or not. So, you can, let's go with a 300-pound stack for $500 extra, aluminum pulleys, and then let's go shrouds. So you can see the kind of final price on this this functional trainer add-on to your 6-post rack as $2,900 with free shipping. So that is like right in line with what the Aries cost. Which I think is pretty shocking. I think, like, off the top of my head, I would have thought maybe Rogue's option would be $1,000 more. And that's for the 300-pound stack. If you go to plate loaded, 2,400. I think that's cheaper than the Aries.
I have a
And then
quick
you can
question.
also just go. You can even take away shrouds. You can go all the way down to you know, just a couple $1,000s for this add-on.
Yeah, I have to say that the price is a lot better than I thought. Is the Aries though? If I'm purchasing an Aries, that's rack and all, right? Or is that an Aries add? Because this is just the add-on, right? So you already have to have the rack.
No, I think this is pretty in line with just the Aries add-on price.
Oh wow,
And
sweet.
actually cheaper if you do the plate loaded option.
Did you get to mess with it at
Uh,
HomeGymCon?
I just like barely. I
I
got a pretty good look at it. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's very
I have to give
nice.
a shout out. Yeah, I have to give a shout out to the Rogue guys there. I know there's a little heat that they're receiving from their stance on like not allowing any media. I think that was a higher up decision, and they're just following through. But the interactions I had with them, and I spent a good, I'd say, 20 minutes there, just like playing with everything. First of all, the equipment is like it'll take your breath away. It's so good. Um, it's everything's just really well done, and then the guys there were awesome too.
Yeah, they were. I think you're spot on. I think they were just kind of doing what they were told to do. Um. So, but yeah, I think you can also just buy a full FM6 with you know all of the upgrades for about $5,000. Let's go. Uh, let's do a build. Let's do a quick build for the Aries. So we don't want to book professionals. Let's get out of here. All right. Configuration. So I think the big differences are like the dual swivels at the top for the Aries. So you have that. Let's just go rep Aries plus rack series. Let's go 5,000. Let's go 6 post. Let's go 93 inches. Upright color. Ink. No apparel. Let's just go black. Rack depth. Let's go 30 and 16. Cross member color. Let's just do black. Weight storage upright color black. Black storage horns. I think the Rogue came with storage as well, which is kind of nice for that price. So I'll add that to this. Storage options. No. Let's stay away from the stack upgrade plate. Let's just do the compact. Save to rack. Pull up bar. Let's just do standard. Save to rack. Safeties. We'll just do some strap safeties. Save to cart. And then J cups. Let's do some flat 2.0s. 4,500. So the rack is $700 cheaper for the rep. But when you were just doing the add-on, it was a little bit closer to about even. So
Yeah,
in general, I would
22.
say it's pretty minimal. Like I think if you're about to buy a $4,500 rack versus a $5,000 rack, you're probably not even looking at that price difference. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I think the home gym community is going to be pleasantly surprised by Rogue's cost. I know, like
For sure.
I expected way more.
Me too, for sure. So I mean, I think like, I don't know, like, I think there's probably some people who are like, I want this aspect of Rogue, and others that I want this aspect of Rep. So, I don't know how much you look into future upgrades, like who's going to add like a leg extension, like curl to their system. Do you have more faith in Rep versus Rogue to do that? Do you appreciate the like made in America for Rogue? So really like, and I don't think like, I saw a few comments online. It was like, oh, Rogue rushed to match Rep. I don't think that's the case, because it's like 2 years later, or it's like a year and a half later, or something like that. I think they came out with a good product. What I saw at HomeGymCon was pretty awesome. I think the Ares 2.0 is great too. I also think that Rhino is a big differentiator as well. So if
I
you
was
want
gonna
the
ask,
Rhino,
in that
that's a
lineup,
big. That's yeah. I'm
which
going.
one in that lineup are you going with?
I mean, I'm trying to think if I would rather just have like the Rhino separate, because if
Mm-hmm.
you'd want to like be able to use, I don't know exactly how it connects and like what you can use with what.
It looks like
Um,
you don't get the functional trainer option. You just get like the lat pull down. But it's a killer setup, especially
right.
like
It is a killer setup,
the Rhino is just like a cool piece of equipment. Darko just got one, and so
and
he's just now throwing it in his rack, and I've been following along, and it's like, man, that Rhino's pretty sweet. You can do a lot of stuff with it, more than what you'd think.
who'd you say just did that?
Darko, he's putting
Oh,
a
Darko. Yeah,
doing a drop in right now.
got it. Yeah, it doesn't look like functional and it looks like it takes up more space.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, still, like, that is 100% a differentiator.
Look at that thing; it's so cool.
Yeah, cool option. This is also something that we polled the community on. So we said you can have either the Rogue FM6 functional trainers or the Rep Ares 2.0. There were plenty of people that were like, no, I'd rather have Vesta, or I'd rather have Prime. The point of this question was really to just say, would you rather have Rogue or Rep? And then how many don't know. So maybe we'll do something next week as like Rogue, Rep, everyone else, just to see. But again, the point was to kind of match the two. But people had the option to vote either Ares 2.0, these rack mounted functional trainers, or I need more info. 35% need more info, so there's about over 1/3 that don't know. But overall, Ares beat out the new Rogue options with 38% of the votes compared to 26% of the votes, which is kind of I don't know. It's not too big of a shocker, but interesting to see, I should say, or a nice like clarification as to like what the masses want.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I'm shocked. I'm shocked with the reputation that Rogue's always had. I know Rep has like really like grown in like the community. I still thought like Rogue would turn out and at least make it like an even split.
Yeah, this really super interesting. Again, we'll have to like poll the community with all options available to see if that takes away from one or the other for next week. But yeah, cool to see. Moving on, Force USA C10. So this is actually something that Adam and I got to test out when we visited Force USA in January. It was just the prototype. and you know, it was very cool, but it definitely needed some tweaks, and it looks like a lot of those tweaks were kind of taken care of. But this is kind of the newest all-in-one from Forest USA. It includes some really cool features. So it has a multi-point cable system where you can lock the cable in and out. Showed this on Instagram, so you can point it all the way on the inside or all the way on the outside, as opposed to just like a swivel, and then you can actually lock it in place. So it's the best function, or it's the best like all-in-one like cable fly option that I've seen, because it allows it to expand out more. For example, the Smith machine can be stored all the way at the top, which is kind of a nice little feature. And then I think my favorite of just this base unit is the 6 cable connections. So there's 2 at the top for pull downs, 2 at the bottom for for rows, and then 2 on each side with that functional trainer option. So I think one of the big issues with a lot of the all-in-ones where they basically just have a functional trainer is like the lat pull down, for example, isn't right over you. You kind of using it off of like a single column. This is cool because you have the cables at the top for a lat pull down. So cool option there. And I kind of see this as like the future of Force USA with all of these different attachment points. It also has this really unique sliding bench. So this helps turn. So this is a sliding bench that you can purchase as an additional feature, that you can like kind of lock it into a place, connect it to cables, slide up and down. It's pretty you can kind of move into a number of different places. And then it turns into basically a leg press / hack squat, depending on where you put the neck rest or whatever you want to call it. And then the cable extension / leg curl, because it connects to like the cables. You can do preacher curl, and then it can also be used as like a regular bench with like the Smith machine or the front of the rack. So yeah, like I said, Adam and I got to test this out in January. It took some getting used to because there was a lot of moving parts and it wasn't 100% finalized. But I think we both saw a ton of potential with this. Anxious to get my hands on the updated version, see how it operates. It would like I have a G15 right now, and I honestly think I'd want to replace it with this if I could, just because of all the new pulleys, and this sliding bench is that cool. So yeah, cool option from Force USA. All right, next up, couple of calf options for the home gym. So the first one is Exponent Edge calf cup set. So this is pretty much a standard J cup that you can add an enclosed chamber that will slide on and off, so that you can use it for like calf raises on and off the barbell. So it keeps you kind of locked in, so you're not going to be falling back, and it's also going to keep so you're not going to fall back, and then it's also like easier to max out. So cool option for the home gym, and it pairs with this flex wedge calf raise block. So this both of these were debuted at the HomeGymCon. This one includes 6 angled positions, and you can kind of change it for different types of calf variations, and then other movements such as lunges, elevated squats, split squats, and other deficit exercises. It would be something that would pair very nicely with a Smith machine as well. Both of these aren't necessarily cheap options. I think they're right around $300 for each. So you'd really need, specifically for that calf cup set, you'd really want to be able to. You'd really need to want to be able to train calves at home, like maybe most important for bodybuilders. You can get that. You can get it at a combo kind of discount as well. But I do think this is a cool option from Exponent Edge. Pretty out of the box. And Jay is a kind of trains bodybuilding. So that's one reason why he came up with this idea. And then also at HomeGymCon, the U Cups for calves were released. This was from U4C Fitness. So again, very focused product for the calves. This contains a U-shaped chamber, not it that this contains a U-shaped chamber that allows you to focus on the calves. This is not something that you can take on and off like the Exponent Edge. So it's a different, more focused product that isn't quite as versatile. But it is $199. So still not cheap, but quite a bit cheaper than the Exponent Edge. It also includes a 1,000-pound rating. You pair it with a barbell. So also a pretty cool option. I think the biggest suggestion I've heard for these on the Instagram comments is to make it larger so it can pretty much be like make it deeper and longer. So that it can be used as more of like Smith machine type movements, so like rows and just other up and down movements. Adam, what do you think about these options for your calves?
Yeah, no, they're I saw you over there. Did you get to use both these, Jake?
Did I what?
Did you get to use both these options at HomeGymCon? Get your hands on both of them? Or did you just
actually no, I only used these ones. I didn't use the Exponent Edge. I used the U cups.
Yeah, they seem to me like something that you would have to like try in person to really understand the benefit, because looking at them, I think they look cool. They look like they train your calves really well. I'm thinking about myself. It's like, oh, I can like go up on my toes just fine. But if I was under a loaded bar, maybe I would like something like this a little better. So maybe something that you'd have to like really get your hands on and be like, no, I need this.
Yeah, again, it's kind of more like really specific to if you're a bodybuilder or not. I mean, ever since I've got the Smith machine, I will absolutely use it as that. But if I would never just do it on a regular barbell. So yeah, I do like these products. And then again, I do actually want to get this flex wedge to pair with the Smith machine.
Yeah. Sweet.
So yeah, cool. I do hope they make this kind of deeper. If I honestly think so I'm a little if you've listened to this podcast in the past, sometimes we have like product ideas, and one of my favorite product ideas is the double-sided J cups, where it's kind of like on a trolley system, and you have a J cup that you can easily use on the inside and then outside of the rack. I think if you do a regular J cup and then something like this on the other side, that could be a cool option as well. So it's like a dual-sided J cup. Also, we have some data. So these are a couple Sunday survey questions. This was a follow-up to the Massonomics kind of Instagram reel and YouTube video where they highlighted the new Bells of Steel prototype Smith machine add-on, which I thought looked like a cool option. So we asked, will Smith machine popularity So we asked, will the Smith machine popularity improve in home gyms? And 60% actually said yes. They will improve within the home gyms. And then we also asked a follow-up question that asked which Smith machine option sounds best for your home gym. And we used a few examples, not including just a standalone Smith machine. So you had to answer between fully attached, like a BOS, like the Bells of Steel prototype, the VTS from like Bulletproof Fitness, which is just two trolleys that you add on to your rack. So another rack attached option, and you put your own barbell in between. And then also like an all-in-one from Force USA. You could also answer, I'm not educated enough to answer, which is actually what the most popular answer was. So 35% people said they weren't educated enough to answer. The second most popular was the rack attached option from Bells of Steel. The third most popular was the Bulletproof Fitness VTS. And then lastly was the all-in-one from Force USA.
Yeah, I love the Force USA all-in-ones, like I've said before, and like I think you would agree with. They, for what I do in my home gym, they would be an awesome like accessory rack. Something to have on the side as like a functional trainer and Smith machine, just like a dedicated portion of that. I would actually love to have that. Um, but in like my current setup and like where my financials are at, like I really like that bulletproof, or I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. The Bells of Steel one. And maybe it might change like when I finally do see like the bulletproof one like in person. But the Bells of Steel prototype look awesome. Like that you could just put like it looks like a legit Smith machine right onto your rack. I think it's going to do really well. Using a Smith machine, you and I have talked like it's it's great. It feels because it's like it's locked in. It's got that like dedicated pattern. You can just push against it. It feels like you have access to like machines in your gym. You know, as like accessories to like your big three lifts. I think Bills of Steel has a great product. Really excited to see the Bulletproof one in person. But that's where I stand right now.
Yeah. So number one, I would say I agree with the 60%. I think the Smith machines are going to become more popular within the home gyms, specifically because there are more options coming out that are cool. And then also just number two, I've had one in my home gym for like 4 months or so, and I find myself using. So I have a separate all-in-one and then a rack where I just do barbell work. I find myself using that separate all-in-one as much as I use the regular power rack with the barbell. So, and I mean, I really enjoy it, and I do think it's something that I really appreciate. Didn't necessarily think I'd get that value until I actually had it, but I mean, I use the Smith machine for accessory work. I use it like if I'm gonna like come out in the garage and do a random few sets, it's much easier to just do a few things on the Smith machine than like get a barbell. So I mean, I find myself just working out more throughout the day because I have it, and then they're just just there's I'm not the best to explain the benefits of the Smith machine, but um, definitely quite a bit of variability when it comes to that. And then I also think about these as, again, they all seem like really good options. You kind of have the fully rack attached for somebody who they're not going to go out and get another set. They're not going to go out and get an all-in-one. They're going to use their rack, and the Smith machine has enough priority to where they'll add that. And then also it doesn't add that much more space. So I can see a lot of people adding this like Bells of Steel prototype. The VTS, I think that might be a little bit more versatile. But another option that will take up even less space. And then, the all-in-ones are for people with maybe a little bit more budget and then a little more space, either as like to have like as a secondary rack. So, and that's the one I so, and I think it's worth the extra. I think that's worth it. So yeah, I definitely, in general, I think pretty cool data here. And then also just like, I agree with it. So it'll be cool to see if, people see this data and more attention is drawn towards it. And we see some cool Smith machine attachments.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, Adam wanted to add a few things talking about our own home gym. So I actually, I have been for many years, I kind of just like did the review stuff and collected a bunch of stuff I didn't need and didn't necessarily think about my gym as a gym. It was more of just like, this is where everything goes. There was no organization. And I didn't really care too much as to how it looked. So I'm actually really going to like one step at a time. I'm pretty busy, so I don't have like massive amounts of time to just do project after project after project. But I'm gonna try and like just make it more of like a gym as opposed to like this collection of stuff. And I've started to do that, I would say, like throughout this entire year in regards to like equipment. So I'm getting there as far as like no like duplicates of stuff and have it in more of like a space friendly only stuff that I actually use. So we can kind of like, hopefully I'll work on that in like a proper pace and we can follow along on from week to week on this podcast. But the first one, and a lot of it is also like maturing. So I had one, you can see on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. I had like a wall, it had a banner, and then a board with all these stickers. And many people do the sticker thing, but it was one of those things where it's like, I think I'm outgrowing this. So decided to clean it up a little bit and also thought, why not make something for my kids? So, cleaned up the wall, made it all white, got some chalkboard paint, and then I painted it, all black with the chalkboard paint, added a couple wall control panels and added some and just left like an area for my two daughters to draw on it with chalk. And also with the wall control panels, just made sure the stuff that was there was like 100% locked in or like it was light. So it's not going to just like, there's a 0% chance anything's ever going to fall. So just to put that out there. But yeah, they kind of fought over this. They had a good time coloring, but it was like, it's not a very big space. So they kind of fought over like who had what space. And my 2-year-old drew over my 8-year-old's drawings that she loved. And so there was a little tiff. So I might have to like expand it. But overall, very happy with the chalkboard paint. Or the chalkboard paint.
Yeah, and it's like it's this stick out part of the wall if you're seeing in the visuals, and it just acts as like this really cool like accent piece too. Like all white walls with like bars and stuff all over them. Then you have like this black wall. It's like I think it looks awesome. Yeah, I was super happy that you did that. We've been talking for a while, like what you're going to be doing with your space and stuff like that. I've noticed that you have been very like particular on what you're bringing in and where it goes. I think it's super cool. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then I do have another gallon of paint that I'm going to do another accent wall. It's not chalkboard, but it's another black wall. I'm going to do where my other wall control board, my TV, and
Yes.
this little desk area is. So it should look good. So whenever
Yeah.
I get the the kind of the guts to make that time, because it's like a project, it's gonna be like a 4 or 5 hour project. I'll do that. And then also just on my to-do list is, there's a few things that I want to kind of upgrade on. I want to get a lat / low row dedicated. And then also, I've been a big fan of the bulletproof isolator, but I also want to get a dedicated leg extension and leg curl. So those are also that's up next in addition to the paint.
Yeah, I agree with both of those. Like the lat tower in my space, it doesn't have a low row, but just the lat tower has been game changer, favorite piece. And then, yeah. Are you going to do something where you have like a Kurt style? Like, I think you bought the tripod from Bulletproof where you always have it set up. Or are you thinking about like another company's like dedicated piece?
I'm thinking another company's dedicated piece.
Oh, cool. Like Selectorize.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Depends on
I think
the
that'd
price.
be the best option, honestly. Yeah. Cool.
I don't know. I also like moving stuff around. So, and I have always liked the Titan. Yeah, I've always liked the Titan one.
Yeah. It's good.
So maybe something like that. The Gronk Fitness has one that I have been eyeing. So we'll see.
Up here, there's been a hammer strength leg extension, and I don't think it duels as a leg curl, but it's been floating around Marketplace up here for a while. They know they have hammer strength, and they know how much it's worth, so it doesn't sell very fast.
Got it.
Yeah. I think the combo's the way to go, but it is sweet. Yeah. I agree. Cool. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Did you like tonight's episode? Then be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment and taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be a part of these conversations. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and get involved on our website for all your home gym content needs. Be sure to be following HomeGymCon. We are 13 months out, and it's already turning into the biggest one yet. So we want to see you in Louisville, Kentucky, in the last weekend of June. Go to homegymcon.com. Actually, don't do that yet, right, Jake?
You can go there. It's just the website's kind of like in maintenance mode, and it gives you a link to the tickets. But
cool. So buy your tickets there, or just follow our socials by following HomeGymCon on Instagram, Facebook, and all that good stuff. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. Jake, do you have anything left for the listeners?
Nope.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.